All right, Parker, we are in week 1 of the MLB season here in 2026. We've gotten through opening day, opening night, if you were watching on Netflix. But Parker, first week of the season here, I want to know, what series are you paying attention to as we enter the first week of April?
One's actually already going on, and game one's in the books. Tigers Padres to me is a series where it's like, are these teams legit? Are these guys actually going to be competing the way that we think and hope that they are going to? The fans certainly hope that they're going to. And we got a little bit of information from game one. We had Tarek Skubal. He maintained a 0 ERA to start the season and got the win, and an 8-2 Tigers win over the Padres. Over the Padres. But over these next couple games, we're going to see a little bit more out of this team. It's interesting that Nick Pivetta was the opening day starter for the Padres, because I think if camp shakes out maybe differently, I think maybe Michael King becomes your opening day starter for a team like that, and he's going in game two against Framber Valdez. So we will see, especially going in, rolling into game three with Jack Flaherty versus Ramon Vasquez. To me, this is where, Randy Vasquez. This is where we find out whether the Padres are going to continue to contend in this AL West or NL West, and if the Tigers are actually as legit as they're supposed to be. Because if they're as legit as they're supposed to be, they really should roll the Padres, at least take 2 out of 3, if not sweep them, especially with these pitching matchups. So if the Padres can manage to take these last 2 games of the season and come back and win this series, that's going to say a lot about them, and it's going to kind of put a lot of people on alert in Detroit.
Yeah, I mean, you're right on both counts. I think the first off, the Tigers, they're showing just on opening day, Kevin McGonigal making his major league debut. Man. 4 hits, 4 for 5. I mean, that guy looks like he's going to hit everything in the zone, even out of the zone. I mean, the guy bats a ball is crazy. So if you have him joining the likes of Spencer Torkelson, Riley Green, Kerry Carpenter, and you have their pitching clicking, this Tigers team, Parker, after this week, we could really be sitting here thinking like, holy crap, can this Tigers team win 90, 95 games? Very well could. And that's crazy to think about. I mean, imagine a world where everything clicks for them and they're winning as many games as an AL East team this year. That'd be nuts.
Absolutely. If you guys have not watched our overreaction video for opening day, go watch it, like the video, subscribe. We're going to be putting stuff like that out all the time. But in that video, I said that there's the possibility for a team we were talking about the Cardinals, and I was saying there's a possibility for a team to not necessarily have the guy offensively or on the defensive side that you build a team around. There's not necessarily an MVP candidate or a team MVP on this team. And you know what? If the Tigers become a team that win 90 to 95 games, I don't think you're going to be able to look at one guy to be like, that's the guy who could win team MVP, besides like a Tarek Skubal. But offensively, they're not going to have that guy. We had Dylan Dingler going deep today. We had 4 hits from McGonigal. Riley Green's going to be a guy over the course of this season. So if you get a bunch of this production from a bunch of these different places, this is going to be one of those aggregate style teams where it's just a bunch of producers and no one big MVP style guy or one big guy that you're really scared of in that lineup. Everybody in that lineup can do damage. And I think the Tigers are a really well-oiled machine in that way, because I remember for years when Devers was basically the only weapon in the Red Sox lineup, if he was on a cold streak, you felt like you couldn't win the game. That's not the case with these Tigers. And I think that if you're going to roll out a lineup that's able to do that, it's super beneficial for them and for the fans that get to watch it every day.
Yeah, of course. I know for the Padres, it's the Tigers being a litmus test for them is just weird to even say. Like 3 years ago, we would not even said this, and it's an indictment of not only what the Tigers have done, but more so on what the Padres have not done or lack thereof, and this is a huge test for them. If the Padres do not come out of the gate starting strong here in the first month or 2 of the season, we're having some existential questions about what's ahead for this franchise at the trade deadline. And AJ Preller is going to be as active as he's ever been. And then come season end in a division that is so top heavy, and you can't just, roll over and let it happen. You gotta be aggressive. And this team just hasn't been. So I hope for Padres fans, for San Diego faithful, I love everything about the Padres and what they've done in the last few years as far as the energy and the vibes, the ballpark and all of that. It would be a damn shame if they started this year off on a terrible foot and it left a lot of questions for this fandom and that franchise.
Yeah, the Padres have to really get their crap together and get it together quick because the National League is uniquely positioned. First of all, only 6 teams can make it out of the National League into the playoffs, and there are significantly more than 6 playoff caliber teams in the National League, or at least
Yeah.
I believe so,
Yeah.
on paper. So when you have, like you said, it's so top heavy, and you have teams like the Mets, like the Braves, like the Phillies, the Dodgers, the Brewers, the Cubs. Maybe the Diamondbacks. Who knows? They're only one run back on the Dodgers right now. So when you have divisions and teams that look like that throughout all of the National League, the Padres, the Giants. I just don't think that
Yeah.
getting shut out by the Yankees is the Giants' identity for the entire season. I think they're going to be a very good baseball team. There's a lot of competition, and if you guys can't put up a fight against the Tigers in the first week of the season, this is going to be a litmus test for the entire rest of their season because you're not here to beat the Tigers. You're here to beat the Dodgers. And if you can't beat the Tigers, I got news for you. There's a way harder team that you guys are going to have to play like 15 times this year.
I don't know if you've ever heard of them. They're terrible. Just kidding.
what,
We love the Dodgers.
what's the
We
series you're
love
looking forward to this week? What's your series of the week there, Anthony?
All right. Well, this doesn't seem like a fun one, but hear me out, friends. I am going to be watching the Pittsburgh Cincinnati series in Cincinnati. And you're probably wondering why. And I'll tell you this. When we did our predictions for our division previews, we talked about the NL Central being just kind of like this crapshoot. Everything after the Cubs was a crapshoot. And I think the 2 teams that are going to have the opportunity to mess that up for that division is going to be the Pirates or the Reds, because these are both teams that are, I think, chock full of talent, up and down, pitching, lineups. The Pirates are vastly improved. I think, again, if they piece it all together, both of these teams could be disruptive. So what I'm looking for in the first week is, can this new look Pirates offense score some runs in a 3-game series? And can the Cincinnati Reds, with Nick Lodolo on the IL to start the season, could they go ahead and still rack up some wins and put up some formidable pitching performances on their end? So I still think, even when you look at the Reds, their offense is really solid. You're looking at guys like Spencer Steer, Ellie De La Cruz. You still have Tyler Stevenson in there behind the dish. I just think their ability to put on an offensive show is still very much there, and I would like to see these 2 teams surprise everyone by slugging it out for 3 games. So that's why I'm looking at those teams this week.
Yeah, I love that. I love that a lot. Watched a little bit of the Reds play today. They did get shut out on 4 hits, but that's against Garrett Crochet on opening day.
Yeah.
And also, like, this team is probably going to struggle a little bit against lefties. This is why they brought in Eugenio Suarez, because they needed a right-handed bat to offset their struggles against lefties. Because Ellie De La Cruz is not the same hitter when he's hitting against left-handed pitching. So I think that if you can go into this series with the Pirates and prove that Lodolo going down and missing Hunter Green is not going to completely cripple this team. And for a Terry Francona team, I wouldn't put it past them for it not to cripple them. If you guys can still put up some runs and get decent pitching performances, like you said, I think it's going to be a good time. When you still have guys like Andrew Abbott and Chase Burns out there throwing the ball, you're going to have a chance to win at least 2 out of the 5 times that you play a game. And if you can figure out 1 or 2 more of them, it's still a decent team. They made the playoffs last year. And if you get some of that pitching depth back, like, Lodolo's not gone. He has a blister. He's not gone forever.
Right.
He's probably going to miss 2 times through the rotation. So if he comes back and you guys can really, I said it half jokingly, but not really. Genuinely, Nick Lodolo has the talent. If he had the best season, like his 100th percentile season, he's in Cy Young votes. Like, that's the kind of guy that they will be getting back from the IL. And if the Reds are the kind of team that gets that back, they are dangerous enough to definitely threaten moving into October and threaten in October in a shortened series. So I do like this, especially I want to see what Paul Skeens does in his second start after the 37 pitches he threw in 2/3 of an inning on opening day.
Absolutely. I will say I still think the jury's out on Chase Burns just a little bit. Like, I haven't seen
I do too.
quite enough to be 100% confident. So much so, Parker, that I got cold feet on picking him for my freaking fantasy baseball team. I dropped him today. I dropped him today in exchange for Chase Smith, or Shane Smith, and that did me no favors. Just in case anyone wanted to know, did me no
The
favors.
good news is he is barely 23 years old. He made his debut last year at 22, so there is plenty of time for him to develop. Remember, he was in college, a year and a half ago? So
Yes.
Chase Burns is going to be just fine. He still throws the ball 100 plus miles an hour. I think I'm gonna hang in there on him. I'm willing to wait on him for sure.
You're a better man than I.
He
Friends,
still struck out 67 people in 43 and a third innings.
No, you're right. They're right.
Gonna be fine.
Yeah, totally. No, stand corrected. Friends, leave us a comment. Let us know which series are you most looking forward to as the MLB season gets into the very first week. And thanks for following us here at Rally Cap.